27 summers was just so, I mean, because I'm kind of in that kind of, you know, my life. I'm as equally obsessed with how do I get the best out of my life as I am growing a business and just making sure that I enjoy it and feel good about life and, you know, kind of don't take it too seriously. And when he said that, there was two pivotal things. He said, I've got 27 summers left, not 27 years, 27 summers. That was like, oh my goodness. I started looking at my kids going, I've probably got 3 years, like I've got 3 summers with Harry before he doesn't want a bedtime story. And I've probably got like 6 summers with Tobias before he's like, nah, Dad, like you don't need to cuddle me anymore or hold my hand on the way to school. I'm like, oh shit. Like everything just got so much like context in that moment. And I think that's the bit that I got from Daymond was time, like the use of time. They think about time differently. It's just a totally different view of it than anybody else. The thing behind the scenes was incredible, where it was like 5 to 3 or whatever time he was speaking, and he went, "Right, you'll have to go now." And I was like, "All right, is he getting ready for a call? This is his minder." He said, "No, I thought, is he getting ready to come out like and talk because we had 5 minutes to go?" He went, "No, he's going to take a call." I went, "Huh?" But he's on in 5 minutes. He's like, "No, he's on in 8 minutes. He's on in 8. There's 3 minutes of the video." All right, and I went, like this is it. I love it. There's my first. That was worth the money. 3 minutes of the video. He said he's not going to stand there and listen to the video. Like he literally walked on stage, up the steps, and sat in the chair and started speaking to me the minute the second the video ended. 8 minutes to him was like, I've got work to do. And then from I thought was really funny where he said, every year I get rid of a friend. Like, yeah. I delete somebody from my list. I'm like, huh? How does this work? It's like alphabetical, or is it like an age thing? He said, no. Like every year, he said, I get happier, and therefore there's somebody around me who's getting miserable. And I figure out who that is, and I just cut the cord and stop ringing them and, you know, say bye, thank you very much. And I love that one. But from a business point of view, this was the one I loved. And I saw this immediately in my own life, and it just shows you how little things kind of trigger you in the right way. If you remember, I asked him about what's the key to be successful of all of your businesses, and he said structure and communication. Structure is everybody in the right seats. Do they all know their roles? And is everybody given an opportunity to talk? And if they are, you've got a chance, basically. And if you apply that to a little bit of that conversation we've had, you think about why do people get stuck in the valley of death? Structure. You've probably got the wrong people in the wrong seats. And there's probably isn't any communication because the physio, right, take this the right way, the clinician is sat treating patients all day, every day. So there isn't any communication going on. So is it any wonder that there's so many bad physio businesses out there? Good business owners, potentially, but bad businesses and not making any money because the structure is wrong. Nobody given any thought to org chart and role clarity, and there's no communication because you can't get hold of the business owner because he's more take this the right way. The business owner is more concerned with Mrs. Smith who's got a bad back than he is Sally on the front desk who answers the phone.
Yeah, and at some point you start to realize that you can truthfully help more people if you build the structure of the business up than you will ever be able to do personally, you know, with your hands and being in the room with, you know, Miss Sally, as you say. But that's a big mindset shift for a lot of people, is that, you know, I need to be the one that's helping people versus I need to be the one that sets up the structure that helps people. And that's the hard part for a lot of people, because we get our egos wrapped into it. We get this immediate satisfaction of treating patients where someone comes in, thank you so much. You know, you helped me. I'm doing this now. You know, it's very easy to stay stuck in that because it feels good. Yep. Than to do this long work where you're, you know, sitting down and recreating, you know, the systems of a business that encourage growth. You don't sometimes see the benefits of that for years.
Yeah.
But that's the work that gets you to that next level. That's the work that starts to, in 5 years, you're helping 1 million people a year versus 1,000, is doing that type of work and not, you know, being in there doing the hands-on work. That is for somebody. But if you want to be a good CEO, you want to be a good business owner, it's the other work that actually creates a business that will help many, many exponential more people than what you could ever do as a practitioner or a clinician.
I'm going to put you on the spot. And the context is you are running a nearly $3 million business, incredibly profitable. You're reducing your hours every year, so you're seeing less and less patients. You travel. You lead a terrific life, right? So you're somebody that people admire and would want to look up to and would possibly want to, it's not be like Mike, it's be like Derrick, right? Potentially. If that's the case, what do you think your 5 strengths are? 5. And here's what's really interesting. I'm giving this as a little tip for everybody listening. Ask an interview E for 5 strengths and watch they normally get asked for 1 or 2. To get to 5, it's really difficult, but it's a fantastic question. So what's 5?
I'll rattle a couple off. You have to keep.
Everybody gets
keep
the
track.
first 1 or 2, right? The first
Yeah.
1 or 2. This is the thing. But the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th, you can see people are scratching their brain. And you're like, gee, I don't know.
Yeah. So the first one that would come out would be problem solving. Is thinking of other ways to solve problems. And pulling from this collection of information to solve problems. The second is learning. Is like I am obsessed with learning. No matter what it is, can I learn more about it and put that into action? I think the third would be probably the willingness to take action in situations that I'm unsure of, and actually following through with some of that stuff that you're learning, because you don't actually improve from reading something. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge that informs action is power. And so I would say that's another one. I would like to say today, leadership and inspiration is one. It's something I've worked on a ton, and being able to communicate with everyone, patient, staff, and lead them. Here's the vision that I see. Can we get to that vision? So communicating that has certainly become a big part of it. So, leadership, kind of communication. Teaching is definitely in that list. I don't know what number I'm at now, but
keep
teaching.
Going,
Going. We'll keep it rolling. Teaching is a big part of, I think, everything that we've accomplished from a marketing standpoint. I have a kind of a thought that we should be teaching people to live healthier lives. We should teach our employees to be better, to be more effective. We should teach our patients the habits they need to do. As business owners, we should be teaching how do we add these things to get, and I mean, this is what you do. It's amazing to get the business to where you want. How do we add the cash services? How do we, do some of that stuff? And I think this will be a little bit of a different one, would be I am a very good copier. So when I see someone who is doing well, I can see that and be like, how can we take that and put our little twist on it and make it into a very effective, program, protocol, activity, business, whatever it might be. So those are my.
I would agree.
However many.
I love it. I love the fact you never mentioned treating patients. I was waiting for it to come out. I was like, he's going to mention it. But I love it. And the bit at the end, to give you a little label on that one, it's called. I think the term would be synthesis. You're very good at being able to synthesize something. And I realized that I had that skill a few years back. That and the reason it's so important is because it allows you to speed things up. So when everybody else, so if you really dig deep into this, right? If you really dig deep into this, that if Derrick can synthesize information from another source, and he can almost like osmosis bring it across, so he can go on an aeroplane, see something happening in an industry that's just so wildly different to physio, and his brain's open to it, and he's able to bring it to physio, and he goes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to copy this, we're going to copy that bit, and we're going to use the structure of that and the framework of that, and that's coming into our business. It could be an upsell, it could be a magazine in the back of a chair, it could be some piece of customer service, it could be whatever. The rest of the world looks at this and goes, that won't work for physio because it's Southwest. Now, we can't do that. That's Southwest. It doesn't work for physio. We need to go and copy examples from other physios. And so what happens is it's bland. Everything looks the same. It's all boring, and you get what everybody else gets. The genius is synthesis, that you can look at a sales page and go, I can take that. I can listen to this podcast and go, I can do my version of that. I can take Paul's background. I can take Paul's questions. I can take Paul's insert the blank, and I can go and do that in my business. And that gives you speed. And that's the bit the world-class business, the world-class CEO, the one you look at and you're like, how the hell did they get all of this shit done? It's synthesis. It's the ability to look at something else, bring it, nobody else can see it, and they think you're weird because you brought something from an airline that you were on a flight to Hawaii while you were on the way to holiday, and you came back and you went, there you go, we're going to do this. Where did you get that from, Derek? Well, I got it on my holiday. And everybody in the world goes, well, you're going on holiday, that means you're not working. And Derek, meanwhile, sat on the flight going, I'm never fucking not working. And I'm looking for any opportunity to get something. I need to be on these flights to pick something up to take back to my business. And that's what synthesis is. Thanks for watching this video. And if you found it helpful, and if you now find yourself thinking, I wonder what else this person can help me with, head over to paulgough.com/books, where you can find my best-selling books, which will show you how to add more profit to your practice. Or send an email to paul@paulgough.com to ask about how we can help you accelerate the growth and profitability of your clinic. And by the way, if you know anybody who would find this helpful, please share this video out. Thanks so much.